sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the shop button. I'm just responding to somebody real quick, and then we're going to get on with the show and go over a lot of information and talk about yesterday real quick. So yesterday, I wasn't on the air, and I'd like to apologize. Man, what was it? Monday night. Laying there, getting all stuffy, getting that burning in the nose. And, I knew I was getting sinus infection. So I drugged myself up, took a buttload of vitamin C, slept the day away. And woke up and I was like, holy shnikes, I feel good. I was like, damn. So far, crisis averted because those friggin' sinus infections, I hate those things. They suck. Not that anybody goes, hey, I want to get a sinus infection. When I get them, it's not fun. Yeah, you usually got to put me on severe antibiotics, all this crap. So I do everything to try to avoid. If I start to feel one come on, it's like all the alarm bells in my head go off. So, I do apologize. So, I love how they talk about how Trump's, speech. It was hateful, it was this, it was that, you know, the left media is in a tailspin. It was hateful, it was Hitlerian, Hitlertarian, I think they called it, reminiscent of Nazi Germany. You know, they went all over the spectrum on the accusations. I saw it as a speech of realism. It wasn't a speech of sunshine and puppy dogs being blown up your ass. It was realism. It was, this is what's going on. And this is what we're going to do. To me, it talked about a direction. It's not your normal presidential speech. But what's going on now is there's some polls coming out. And I'm not crazy about these polls, but it seems that 49% of the respondents thought the speech was good or excellent compared to the 39% who found it only fair or poor. Additionally, 55% of the voters thought it was better than they expected it to be. Much more optimistic than pessimistic. 51% found the speech optimistic and 50% found it hopeful. Only 26% found it pessimistic. America First is a hit. That is why they attack it so much. Because they know it's going to take off with the people, and the people understand it. When you see Democrats attacking things with no tomorrow, that screams and shows that, well, they have major issues with it because they know it's going to be successful. The polls also show that only 21% found the speech boring, 57% didn't. America First, 65% of the voters reacted positive to the passage in which Trump said it's going to be America First, and only 22% reacted negative to this concept. And I find it funny, you have so many idiots. You have Lindsey Graham. I don't know what America First means. It means the policies will be about America First. When deciding things, it will be America First. It's a very basic concept. And Lindsey Graham's just going out there to talk shit because his little butt buddy puppet, Senator John McCain, his slogan when he had that disastrous failed attempt for the presidency was country first. Well, unless he's talking about another country, he's talking about America first, or he was talking about America first. Democrats love to say, well, see, that's a racist slogan. That's about white people going back to the way we used to be. So you're saying Bill Clinton is a racist. Because Bill Clinton used that as a slogan several times. It's amazing their points of view. will change just to try to label someone a racist. It's sanctuary cities are pushing back. Oh, we're going to get to... Hi, Cal. We're going to get to his executive orders. I love what he's doing so far. He has not overstepped the law any bit. What I want to get to is the President Trump approval index. Since he's taken office, he's up. He's up big time. I know that this is going to hurt the liberals. Real quick, because I'm seeing officials running their mouths about sanctuary cities. Those officials are not upholding the Constitution. They're not out to protect the United States. They are breaking federal laws and should be removed immediately. I'm not. It's... All right, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Sorry. Shiny keys being dangled in front of me distracted me. So the numbers, the approval ratings, at this time, 42% of the nation strongly approves of what President Trump is doing, and only 33% strongly disapprove. And overall, 57% approve of the president, while 43% disapprove. This approval rating boom comes after a series of executive actions, including one that killed the highly unpopular multinational Pacific Rim Trade Deal, TPP. God, tongue-tied, just saying it. One that reinstated the Mexico City policy of international organizations that receive federal funding being prevented from conducting abortions, and a hiring freeze on all federal workers except for military, national security, border, and VA. I know the left there, oh my God, he did a hiring freeze. There's so many jobs in the VA. Oh, woe is me. Not covered underneath the freeze, you morons. They always try to... I love how they use the military when it suits them. They haven't given a rat's ass about our military boys and women. And God knows how long. They have not given a rat's ass about them. Now, all of a sudden, they're worried about them. Because they could use them politically. Keyword, use. One thing that Trump's also getting... The union leaders are getting behind him. That spells trouble for Democrats. And why does it spell trouble? Because that's been a major source of voters. Republicans are not big on unions. Unions have their place, and they've gotten the unions have gotten abused over the years. I'm not fully anti-union, but I'm also not fully for unions. They do have their time and place. Well, what's going to happen? These jobs that are going to get pushed is going to add a big boost to the unions. I don't think those unions are going to forget who gave them the job boost. Because it wasn't President Barack Obama. He lost a shit ton of jobs, especially union jobs. Yeah, and I'm tired. Well, he created millions and millions of jobs. He created low-wage, part-time jobs. That's not the same as career full-time jobs. Anybody can create part-time jobs. That's not hard. It's creating those, I should say minimum wage part-time jobs. Creating the full-time career positions, that takes talent. That takes a businessman. Right now, the left it's so funny. They don't know what the hell to do. And we're going to get through all the executive orders that he's been writing. They don't know what to do because he's working at such a pace. I don't think any president has done this much work this quick. And it's coming out to such a pace that the left can't even keep up with throwing out the negative press on it. Because they can't think as fast as he's working. And it's showing within his approval ratings. They're going up. All the bitching that the liberals are doing. Now, I read an article that there's both parties are at getaways. And the Democrats are doing one, How to Talk to Americans. And there's a group of Democrats in there that feel that the party has gotten away from what made the Democrats successful. And they want to get back to being the party for the middle class, all the other. Manchin and a couple other ones are, just because they have a designation of Democrat doesn't mean I'm just going to ignore him. Manchin, I disagree on the gun control issue with him. But on some other things, he seems like he actually cares. There is this huge rift going on. There's one in the Republican Party, but it's smaller. Democrats are just, they're full-on crazy. They got a full-on divorce going on in their party. And the direction that they're going in, if Manchin and a couple of those Democrat Party members can get things to go their way, they might be able to straighten the party out. It's going to take a couple elections really to get trusted again. Oh, it's getting that time. One of the things I was playing around, because the other day I lost the hard drive. I had to restart everything. I found, I always have those little gadgets on the desktop. One that shows like the CPU usage, so I know if I'm overloading the computer while I'm doing the program. And I put a little clock on the desktop so I can see what's going on. Well, I found one that has a little alarm that tells me what's, when's when, what's what. Because there's been several times I'll be getting ready for the show, and I'll lose track of time. Because I'll be looking at the other computer and I don't see the clock. So I've been, running it, not majorly behind, but a little bit behind, a few seconds here and there. I'm OCD when it comes to that. It's okay. I won't start the show at this time. So it has a little alarm thing that I can set the alarm, and this way I can tell myself when the breaks are coming up and when to step away and all that. So, and with that, you've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Daily News. And we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid throw.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, where are we? Well, I am in Florida. All right. Now, this is what I'm finding funny, the opposition from all the politicians on this. Donald Trump has believed, and his numbers, he didn't come up with the numbers. I know everybody thinks he magically came up with these numbers out of his head. He didn't. But the voter fraud, the 3.5 to 5 million illegal voters, he didn't come up with that number. Everybody's like, oh, he's just coming up with it because she beat him in the popular vote and it's hurting his ego. No, he's actually not the one that came up with that number. It's a group called Vote to Truth? Where is it? True the Vote, sorry. And they are a group that is dedicating to rooting out voter fraud. They're a bipartisan group. They're not looking out for one group or another. And one of the things they offer is that if your state has a voter ID law and you're having trouble getting a voter ID, they will assist you in getting one. Which isn't that bad of an idea. I don't know anybody that doesn't have an ID. Most people have them because you need it for just about everything in life nowadays. So, but Donald Trump is now calling for an investigation to make sure that there's no voter fraud going on. And Democrat and some Republicans are up in arms about it. What are the Democrats bitching about? Even those Republicans. I'm pretty sure I know why. They don't want it looked into and settled once and for all. They don't want it. And that's stupid of the Democrats. Because what if the Republicans slammed on the Democrats? Oh, they've been doing voter fraud. They have the dead voting for them. Even President Barack Hussein Obama even talked about how the Democrats have voted illegally or won election through voter fraud. Yeah, he had talked about voter fraud and how, here, I'll let him say it.
I would just like to know what you can say to reassure us that this election will not be rigged or stolen.
Well,
real quick, this is in 2008. At the time, it was Senator Barack Obama speaking at Kent State University when he was campaigning to be president.
Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines. But look, I come from Chicago, so I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. You know, whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to, tilt things in their direction. That's why
Let's play that again. Come on. I gotta see if I can find that on. Here it is. I like it on YouTube. It's easier.
I have never seen in my lifetime or in modern political history.
So I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. You know, whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to, tilt things in their direction. So I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too.
Now, that was Barack Obama talking about that, their Messiah. And and Kel put up a thing, and it's pissed me off. When the liberals come out and say, well, voter IDs are racist because there's a lot of minorities, there's a lot of blacks that don't know how or can't get an ID. What? That's racist right there, because you're saying that they're either too lazy or too stupid and don't have the ability to go get an ID. That takes balls right there. And Kel, I've been saying that for a while, and it offends me for them to say that. But you would think that the Democrats would be out there, because they say there's no voter fraud going on. None. So Trump goes out, does an investigation, finds out there's no voter fraud. They get to go, hey, shut up. Here is your Republican president. He shows that there is no voter fraud. Win-win for him. The problem is, California, you have illegal immigrants that are allowed to have driver's license. And Cal, what the funny thing is, we get told how we're the racists and all that, we don't like minorities, yada, yada, yada. And it seems like it's the conservatives always trying to do the best for all groups, trying to help minorities, and are the ones that actually stick up. We actually are the ones sticking up for women, unlike liberals who are attacking Ivanka Trump and Josh Whedon, director, all that he's done the Marvel movies, several of them. Creator of Buffy, and no longer will I watch any of those shows. He just called Ivanka Trump a dog. But it's the liberals that are out to protect the women. Every time I see a racist, sexist comment, I see the liberals making it because they think they're so above everything because we're the ones that protect them. But they're the ones that do all the attacking. Yeah. They say that they're for the minorities, and they're the ones always attacking them. Pointing out that the inner cities that the Democrats have been controlling for years are shitholes. And most of the time, you have your minorities living in those shitholes. Is a bad thing? It's racist to point it out? No, it's racist that the Democrats have been running these places. Kel, like the Avenger, both the Avengers movie. He was the director and writer and all that for him. They scream it's racist because they don't want people looking at, but you get like Detroit. Oh, everything's the Republicans' fault. When was the last time a Republican was in charge of the city of Detroit? It's always someone else's fault. Yeah. But I say good that they're looking into this investigation. It'll either find voter fraud, and I'm not talking 1 or 2 cases. And I always hear, well, there was 9 cases of voter fraud in the 2012 election. Fuck you, I've heard about it, and one goddamn person committed 9 voter fraud in 2012. I'm tired of that shit. And just because people aren't prosecuted doesn't mean there isn't a higher rate. So let's look into it. Let's investigate it and close it once and for all. Because if it comes out there's no major voter fraud by illegals, the Democrats are going to have a powerful tool in their belt. So what are they bitching about? And as I said, they keep saying, Trump, he came up with this number. It's unsubstantiated. Oh, my God. Shepard Smith made me want to puke the other day with his mouth. It is not Trump that came up with that number. He is quoting True the Vote. And it's funny, somebody as simple as me could find it. I'm sure Shepard Smith, and his little cronies could find it too. I'm sure all those college-educated assholes at CNN could find it too. Yeah, the same Marvel that turned Thor into a woman. You know, it's bad when your comics get infested with gender identity and just that whole identity issue. Yeah, Miss America or Miss Marvel is now a Muslim woman. Thor is now a female. It just goes on and on and on. So Wonder Woman should be a man then. That would explain the Amazonian type thing. It's actually a man. Friggin' joke they are. So True the Vote put out a statement that they're supporting the charge by Donald Trump that millions of votes were cast in 2016. This goes back to November 27, 2016. The nation's leading voter rights and election integrity organization released a statement with respect to President-elect Donald Trump's claim that millions of individuals illegally voted in the 2016 election. True the Vote absolutely supports President-elect Trump's recent comments about the impact of illegal voting as reflected in the national popular vote. We are still collecting data and will be for several months, but our intent is to publish a comprehensive study on the significant impact of illegal voting in all of its many forms, begin a national discussion on how voters, state, and the Trump administration can best address this problem. True the Vote is a IRS-designated 51c3 voters' rights organization found to inspire and equip voters for involvement at every single stage of our electoral process. TTV empowers organizations and individuals across the nation to actively protect the right of legitimate voters, regardless of the political party affiliation. So it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. But the liberals are up in arms about this. They're freaking out. They are freaking out. Why? because their way of winning could be closing down. So you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and HPDailyNews.com. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. So I want to continue with this because an article published in October backs up the claim that there's voter fraud going on. I know the liberals don't like to, and they say there's no proof, especially Shepard Smith. Because that really pissed me off his mouth. I mean, he went out of his, the false claims of Donald Trump. The false claims. Well, there was an article published in October, backs up the charge of voter fraud in Virginia. Former Justice Department official John Christian Adams reported on a study that showed over 1,000 self-admitted aliens registered to vote in just 8 Virginia counties. Nearly 200 ballots were illegally cast by the alien voters before they were removed from the voter rolls. Wow. Don't say. I know that the numbers are low, but that's just in a couple counties. That's 50,000 votes nationally, and that's amongst a group that are self-admitted. They came forward and admitted about it. So what we learned that in the key swing states such as Virginia, voter registration rolls have been polluted with an excess of thousands of aliens, and most certainly far more. This detailed study by the Public Interest Legal Foundation documents more than 1,000 aliens on the voter roll and provides the government documents with the names. So what's going on is because the motor voter, it's called motor voter or the National Voter Registration Act of 1993, mandates that anyone who applies for a driver's license must be offered voter registration. To register, they must merely mark a checkbox that they are a citizen and sign the form. It's a yes or no question, and thousands are lying just in Virginia. Virginia has no citizenship verification requirement like other states do, so the vulnerability in the motor voter are amplified. Voter ID is no solution either. These aliens are getting registered to vote when they are getting their photo ID cards. This is why allowing illegal aliens to have government-issued IDs is such a bad thing. I find it funny. Okay, I have to bring all these goddamn documents down to prove that I'm a U.S. citizen to get my driver's license renewed. Then they go and hand out driver's license to illegal aliens. Does that make sense to anybody? Not me. Not me at all. And just a small sample, 200 verified ballots were cast before they were removed from the roll. It's that easy. That quick, that easy for it to happen. And it can be amplified across the board with no problem. Now remember, this is... Now, also remember, this is in a state where the Republican... I can't say the last name. Lost the race for Attorney General in 2013 by 165 votes. $165 votes. And there's 200 ballots they found easy that were illegal. And over 1,000 have admitted to being registered. Dozens of aliens have voted in the past elections in Philadelphia. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Most aliens get registered through motor voter. Election official in Philadelphia take no proactive steps to prevent or remove alien registration. Thousands of ineligible felons are on the rolls in Philadelphia, and the election officials do nothing about it and don't even think it's a problem. Now remember, the media is jumping all over saying there's no proof, there's no proof, there's no proof. The proof is out there. They just don't want to show it to the American people. 2008, there was a lot of accusations that over 1 million people voted over the, registered voters. Over 1 million people voted over that number. So let's just say there's 5 million people registered to vote in Philadelphia. They're saying 6 million people voted out of 5 million people, and nothing was said. This happens all over the country, and it's ignored. It's ignored time and time and time again. And then just every time it's the same rhetoric. Just 1 or 2 cases. It's nothing big. Well, those 1 or 2 cases keep expanding to even bigger and bigger and bigger. So it seems the wool's being pulled over our eyes, not only by our politicians, but by the media. Because by having those, I use this term very loosely, journalists in their pockets, they control the narratives. The so-called journalists, well, they're bought and paid for with a Hershey kiss. They seem to be very cheap dates. Give them a little attention, and they wag their little tails in approval. They'd no sooner bite the mailman if they just got a scratch behind the ear. This is what we base facts on a lot of times, is the liberal mainstream media that does everything it can to protect the liberal progressive movement. They can't win on facts. And now I love it. I always hear the liberals now saying about facts, and they are trying to use the same arguments. They're copying the conservative argument. They're turning into parrots about what's being used against them. I got told that the Republicans play the victim card all the time. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. A Democrat was saying that Republicans play the victim card. Anybody that has a brain has seen how the Democrats have played that card for years. Making victims out of everybody when there was no crime committed. They get hacked. And their emails exposed. And they're the victims. They're the victims. Donald Trump gets his audio that he didn't even know is being recorded on two guys bullshitting in a goddamn truck. I've talked to many people I know. I know women, and they've said the same thing. They've talked worse than what they heard on that tape. But everybody else is the victim, not Trump. He gets that audio that he didn't even know he was being recorded on. And the tape gets released. But everybody is the victim. I laugh because being part of the firehouse, being part of the EMS system, being around all those women, that's the least of what I've heard said. And the women, their talk is the worst. Especially ER nurses. Holy shit, they have made me blush. And those that know me know I don't blush easy. And I'm being serious. These ER nurses have made me blush time and time again. So as I started this out with, it's just the Republic or Democrats, if they don't think there's voter fraud, they should be welcoming this investigation so that they could put this accusation to bed once and for all. It's not a hard thing to comprehend. Not hard to comprehend any of this. It's that they don't want to. It's common sense to everybody else to see that there is illegal voting going on. And the Democrats just keep pushing the ability for it to happen. But then no, that's not what we will make sure nothing happens, as they got their fingers crossed behind their back. I'm not impressed by their arguments. I'm not. And I sit back and laugh because I'm watching. I mean, Jesus Christ, they had a person that's running for chairwoman of the DNC screaming that her job is to shut down the white people. I mean, think about that. Her job is to shut down the white people. Here, let's play it, then we got to go to break.
My job is to listen and be a voice. And my job is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt. My job is to shut other white people down when they want to say, oh, no, I'm not prejudiced. I'm a Democrat. I'm accepting. My job is to make sure that they get that they have privilege. And until we shut our mouths and we listen to those people who don't, and we lift our people up so that we all have equity in this country, so that we're all fighting alongside each other, so that we are all on the same page and we clearly get where we're going. We're not going to break through this. This is not just rhetoric. This is life or death. This moment in our country, the Democratic Party has the opportunity to do something different. We have the opportunity. I'm listening and I am asking and I am talking to people, all people, but especially those people who have been disenfranchised in our country since our country started. So please, 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 this is a conversation I want to have, and I am from Idaho. We are so white, so white, right? Like, I have been reaching out and trying to connect to anybody of color that I can find to be honest with me. I am not a politician. I am a human being trying to do good work, and I can't do it without y'all. So please, please, please get a hold of me. Sally at wethednc.org. I need schooling, and I depend on you and the people around our community to do that so that I can go school the other white people. We need it.
Thank you. All right.
My job is to listen and be a voice. And my job is to shut other white people down when they want to. And my job is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt.
And that is what is running for the leadership of the DNC. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains, HPDailynews.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Cap for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, let's see, where are we? Trump's executive orders. Yes, Trump's executive orders. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. Everything that he talked about it's the list is, I think, is a great thing. Hang on, I gotta straighten something out. In the Navy. Oh. It is. Let me see some. Try to do 20 things. All right, let's get to that list. And this isn't a total comprehensive. The border wall. In the order, President Trump states that it is the policy of the United States to immediately construct a wall on the southern border. The order directs agencies to begin planning and identifying funding for the project, including sending requests to Congress. It also directs agencies to construct or contract out for more detention facilities at or near the Mexican border. This order also directs the hiring of an additional, I think it's up to 10,000 Border Patrol agents, subject to funding. And it requires that all agencies identify any USAID funds that have gone to Mexico in the past 5 years. Perfect. We are going to get back control of our border. This has been an argument between the left and right for decades. And now, yeah, it's been decades. It's been used as a political football. Ouch. And nobody has wanted to actually tackle the problem. But now we have President Trump, who's willing to tackle the problem, secure our border. Deportation in sanctuary cities. This is also a longer order with several major pieces. The president has directed agencies to step up deportation of those in the country illegally. First, he prioritized 7 groups of people for deportation. It is anyone convicted of a crime, charged with a crime, who has committed a chargeable offense, has misrepresented themselves to the government, has abused a welfare program, or who is under deportation order, who may, in judgment of an immigration officer, otherwise pose a risk to public safety or national security. It is pretty plain, pretty simple. I'm tired of all the posturing. It's simple. We have laws. We have immigration laws. Now, is this border wall and deportation going to stop everything? No, you're still going to have people attempt. The way I explained it last night on the South Side Much So, when me and Crash were talking about it, is you got a flood coming, okay? And you get the sandbags. Sandbags are not going to stop 100% of the water. But what it does is take that flood, this wall of water coming at you, and turn it into a trickle. And that's what the border security, the wall, will do. It will also hurt the cartel's money source because they've been bringing people into this country illegally and making a lot of money doing it. This will help Mexico out because not all the illegals are Mexicans. They're all different nationalities, and they're coming in from different countries. They're coming in from South America coming up, Central America. And they're running through Mexico, doing all this damage in Mexico, to the point that Mexico has put up a border to their south, but they're complaining about a border to the north. Too bad. Oh, one last thing I want to point out about the voter fraud claim that Trump made. And this is to the people scoffing at Trump's claim of voter fraud. These are the same people that scoffed that he would win the election, too. I forgot to point that out. Sorry. The second order also directs the hiring of 10,000 more immigration, customs, enforcement agents, but subject to funding. Third, it states the United States policy is now to allow law enforcement officers to act as immigration officers whenever possible. And here's the one that I love. It orders the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security to block federal grants from so-called sanctuary cities which do not enforce immigration laws. Plain and simple. And I'm going to be tweeting it out every day I can remember. Why are these officials not being charged? Number one, under RICO, because it's a criminal enterprise at that point. They are assisting and aiding and abetting criminals. And under U.S. Code 1324. I would read it out, but it gets very, very boring. It shall be unlawful for any person, including any transportation company, owner, master, commanding officer, anybody that has to deal with it, from any place outside, any alien who does not have a valid passport, I'm not going to go through everything because it goes to the point of even... Oh, that's not the one on 1323. Where's 1324? Ah, there it is. It's reading off of 1323. That's... And 1323 and 1324 cover harboring, knowingly or recklessly disregard of the facts that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of the law, transports or moves or attempts to transport or move such alien within the United States by means of transportation or otherwise in the furtherance of such violation of law, encourages or induces an alien to come to, enter, reside in the United States, knowing or recklessly disregard of the fact, engages in conspiracy to commit any of the preceding acts, aids and abets the commission of any of the preceding acts, shall be punished as provided in subparagraph B. And you could be talking from 10 years in prison, 5 years, 20 years. In the case of Kate Stein, since there was a murder involved, that could be life in prison or the death penalty. So in other words, that sheriff that allowed that asshole to walk out of that jail, he could be held liable and charged. There is laws on the book that say you can't be protecting. And as it says, encourages. Saying you are a sanctuary city, you will protect them, is encouraging. And we'll get more on this on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, HP. Damn it. Oh, this is going to bug me. I almost got it. It takes me a couple times of doing it over and over again to really get it sunk in my head. HPDailyNews.com. I sound like an idiot, don't I? We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. So I just watched a Democrat mayor says if he has to, he will use City Hall to shelter illegal aliens because he's got the Constitution on his side. I don't even know where to start with that dumbass statement. I don't even know where to start. I mean, they're majority of the people in this country don't want. We're held to a higher standard. We are held that we have to abide by all these laws. But these people that walk into our country don't have to follow single laws. And that pisses me off. I'm so tired of this. HBO. And Democrats wonder why they're losing. I mean, 74% of people in California want to do away with sanctuary cities. 74%. That's pretty high. I don't know. The people don't want these. The only ones that want them are Democrat politicians. And they're losing elections over it. I just can't believe you had one that says he has the Constitution on his side. He's disregarding federal law. He is sworn to uphold the law. But he has the Constitution on his side. Man, the drugs they are on. I think we need to start drug testing our politicians. And I'm not joking. We need to drug test our politicians. Why? Because some of them, the statements they make are just asinine. Absolutely asinine. I think about it, if a Republican suggested that we ignore federal law, the hissy fit that would happen with these. Sorry, excuses for politicians. All right, let me get back to the discussion now, because I don't want to spend a lot of time. We've talked about sanctuary cities. We've talked how dangerous they are, how the American people don't want this. About how I don't. Other parts of his This is just executive orders for the agencies to look back into and approve the Dakota Access Pipeline. I mean, you have one small section is missing for that whole line to be complete. The rhetoric that was pushed, had pre-approval. Get that done, which that's thrown all the protesters into a tizzy. One of the executive orders was to invite TransCanada to resubmit its application for a pipeline permit, and he directed the State Department to issue a final decision of that application within 60 days. The studies have already been done, and the studies say that it should be approved. It's replacing a pipeline that is already there to allow a higher flow, but it also replaces a old pipeline with a newer, safer, has more safety issues. He also issued an executive order for the Commerce Secretary to come up with a plan to ensure that all the pipeline built and repaired in the United States will be constructed with American-made material. Canada has already said that it will make sure that with the XL pipeline, that any and all of the pipeline will be made in America by Americans. So I don't know where the issue is, except for it's not a Democrat idea. They had a chance to do all this. Think of the jobs. I know, it's only going to create 10 permanent jobs. Bullshit. For the length of that pipe. The jobs it's going to create along the way. I mean, we don't just need steel for a pipeline. And there's millions of miles of pipe that needs to be replaced. It needs it. The pipeline is getting old in this country. And when you're talking double and triple hauled pipeline, that's a lot of pipe that needs to be laid. But of course, the Democrats, well, they don't look at the benefits, do they? They're playing the identity politics again. I don't know. The rhetoric doesn't seem to be helpful. The fake news coming out about them is not helpful. Review of manufacturer regulation. The president ordered the Commerce Secretary to begin a 60-day review of regulation for manufacturers with the aim of finding ways to speed up permitting and all federal processes for them. Speeding up environmental reviews for all priority infrastructure. President Trump ordered that agencies and the chairman of the White House Council on Environmental Quality work together to set up faster deadlines, environmental approval for high-priority infrastructure projects. You notice the theme here he keeps talking about? Infrastructure. You know, Obama talked about it when he was running for office about infrastructure. He created a bill. Never did anything with infrastructure, did he? Never did anything. A lot of that money got shuffled around. Didn't go where it was supposed to rebuild the infrastructure. Can you imagine the jobs and the people will put to work? And this isn't a quick project, especially the pipeline. They're going to have to create smelting plants and all this. They're going to have to create all these places to build the pipe. That's going to take years. Pipeline's going to get started to be built, and all the jobs that are going to be created, and all this is pretty much going to come to a head in about 4 years from now. That's when it's all going to come to a head, when everything's going to come together. In 4 years, when it's time for, you guessed it, re-election. And he's going to look like a goddamn genius. And the others are going to look like, the Democrats are going to look like dumbasses. Sorry. That's what they're going to look like. Just so that they can say that they fought for environment. And there's not going to be an environmental impact. This is going to make the environment a little bit safer. But of course, they ignore that part. It's not going to affect tribal land like they run their mouths about. Think of the Americans that are going to be put back to work underneath this. And real jobs, not burger flipping. High-paying, trade-skilled jobs. It's going to create... You're going to have to train a bunch of these people because, well, there's not a lot of people going to school for right now. And it's going to create a boom in that industry. The cascade effect that it will create is unbelievable. And the Democrats fight against it. That's what blows my mind. They argue against all this. They do everything to try to stop advancing on creating jobs. It just... The rhetoric is strong. Oh, so strong. I don't know. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and HPDailyNews.com. And we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. Kel made a good point. We may even see ghost towns revitalized. I mean, it did affect, I guess, a trickle-down effect is far-reaching. I mean, the jobs that will be created and the Democrats fight against it. Why? What is the big fight about? Do they hate the American people that much? Or is it just because they want to throw a hissy fit because someone else thought of it? Well, Obama talked about it but never enacted it. He was more worried about paying off his buddies than to and actually do what he said he was going to do. And that's what Trump's done so far. He's been doing everything that he said he was going to do. He's done a federal hiring freeze across the board, except for military personnel and critical public safety positions. TPP, of course, which, as I talked about the other day, was funny because Chuck Schumer threw a hissy fit about that. Oh, we already killed it. Yeah, but there was provisions in there that Obama had signed on to already that we had to notify that we were backing out of the deal. So I guess Chuck Schumer really didn't read the paperwork like he said he did. The Mexico City policy, which stops any foreign aid or federal aid that goes to funding abortions in foreign countries. Trying to go over what else? Regulation freezes. He froze all regulations now in process but not approved until they are approved by him or agency after he took office. This means any regulation signed by former President Barack Obama in his final weeks in office, including some that deal with energy efficiency standards, are on hold until they're reviewed by Trump administration. He's also been able to freeze that $221 million payment that Barack Obama literally signed as he was going out the door. He was on his way out the door, and he approved $221 million to be sent to Palestine. Trump was able to stop that. And the other one is the ACA rollback. He's allowed all agency heads to waive requirements of the ACA to the maximum extent permitted by law. He's not creating any laws. He's not circumventing any laws. He's staying within the laws. He's done so much. And now they're left screaming, look at all the executive orders he's written. Yeah, they've been removing all the executive orders that Obama did. That's the funny part. He's just removing all the executive orders that Obama put in. So I guess they need to bitch about their man that wrote all these executive orders. To me, it's been a wonderful first week, not even full week. Imagine what he'll do after the first month, the first year. He's doing what he promised he would do. And that's more than Obama can ever say. Let me see. Kel just popped an article up. Yeah, I'll save that actually for tomorrow. I'll take a look at it later. The left is not learning. The left is in a downward spiral and getting worse. Oh, and when it comes to one of the reasons we've had problems with illegal aliens is we catch these illegals coming into the country. We try to deport them back to their home country, and their home country refuses to take them. And Obama has bent over and, okay, we won't do nothing. We'll keep them. Well, now there's a bill being put forth that would remove any U.S. aid to a nation that won't take back its citizens. Criminal or whatever, that is not our problem. We will stop assisting with any money to those countries immediately. This is what we need to do. So, only thing I see Trump doing is everything he ran on. Nothing more, nothing left. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh my God. And also, there's a big thing that the media is making out. Some supposed CIA black site draft that the media has come across. And New York Times, the Washington Post are running with it and suggesting it was a legitimate draft from the White House officials. And the White House says, it's not ours. We had nothing to do with it. The media will try anything and everything to attack Trump. The fake dossier they ran with. And now a fake executive order, it seems that they've... I just... Now, the alleged draft directs national security officials to recommend to the president whether to reinitiate a program of interrogation of high-valued alien terrorists to be operated outside the United States, and addresses whether to lift the ban on the use of CIA-run black sites, prisons overseas implemented by Barack Obama. You know what? I've never been against some of the tactics that were used. Sleep deprivation, making them stand for long periods of time. Making them listen to certain things, certain music over and over and over and over and over again. These people aren't going to just spew all their secrets out of the kindness of their heart. There has to be some negative reinforcement to get these people to talk. So I want to play. I just want to reinforce something about the Democrat chair candidates before we head off to the sunset for the day.
Is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt. Is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt. Is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt.
Democrat Party wants to shut down white people. And that's the leadership that they're looking at. You have another one that's anti-Semitic. It's Democrat Party is looking more into identity politics than actually, just being for Americans. And with that, I'm going to wish everybody a great day, and thank you so much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow, as everybody knows. Right here on SHR Media and HPDailyNews.com. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on HPPundit.com and SHRmedia.com.